Thank you for joining me today. So we began the 21-22 academic year with great momentum, the theme for the State of the College Address. Now, a little past the midpoint of the year, I am reminded of the title of a speech by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that he gave in 1965 in Birmingham, in Alabama, and it was entitled, "Our God is Marching On." I have modified the title to read, "Our Truth is Marching On." Our truth is that we do indeed have momentum, and as is necessary and important, that momentum is felt across the college. The question is, what are we marching towards? The gauntlet was thrown in 2016 with our bold statement that we would become the college of choice, bar none. First and foremost, becoming the college of choice takes a community effort. And I want to begin by saying thank you for your efforts to help our campus community remain safe by doing what we have asked of you to mitigate the spread of the disease caused by this novel coronavirus. Initial concerns abounded that as a residential institution of higher education, we would be a hotspot for COVID-19 infections. We have shown that all of the days in the world underestimated us. You have followed our protocols and mandates. We have among the highest institutional vaccination and booster rates in the county and are among the leaders in the state. Well done, St. Mary's College. Through your actions, you have exemplified the St. Mary's way. Respect for self, respect for others, respect for the environment in which we live. I could not be more proud. I know each of you is wondering what's next in this saga. You will hear from me early next week as promised. Know that I have spoken at length with Dr. Brewster, the executive director of the St. Mary's County Health Department. Know that we are following the science and the local infectivity and hospitalization rates. We are aware of the development of new treatments and local availability of those treatments. And I have spoken with higher education leaders across the state and to a lesser degree across the country. These factors will guide us in our decision-making. I appreciate your patience and understanding. Today, my remarks are entitled, "Our Truth is Marching On." We are the National Public Honors College, and we are becoming the college of choice. To make that vision a reality, we must be persistent in our efforts to offer exceptional opportunities for learning, as well as for social, emotional, and spiritual growth. Fulfilling that vision means that we will enhance our ability to attract, recruit, retain, and graduate exceptional students who have both the capacity and potential to thrive here, as well as attract, recruit, and retain stellar faculty and staff who want to be here because they believe in our mission, they want to help us achieve our vision, and they can benefit from our environment. Each of these objectives requires that we not only have a beautiful campus and relevant programming, but that we also have the people and support systems in place to help our community members succeed. I'm here today to tell you that we are well on our way. Nonetheless, we got off to a bumpy start this year. Last semester, a group of transgender students and their allies brought to our attention that they were not thriving here. Among other things, they pointed out that the number of gender-neutral restrooms across campus was insufficient, that the restrooms in one residence hall in particular are in deplorable condition, and that they did not believe the name of the affinity housing provided to them made it a safe space for them to be. They also told us of the pain and disrespect they felt because they were not being addressed by their chosen first name. They found their voices and we heard. We immediately set out to appropriately address their concerns. Today, we find ourselves in a better place. There's at least one gender-neutral restroom in every academic building. The name of the specific housing space has been updated to open and inclusive housing. We have instituted a formal chosen name policy that was approved by the Board of Trustees this month and goes into effect in fall 2022. We've implemented an interim manual process by which the student's chosen first name gets disseminated to the appropriate campus units as quickly as possible. And we have worked to ensure that the student module of the new ERP has the capability of automating this process when the ERP rolls out in fall 2022. We are working on a plan to address the issues with the restrooms. We've also reconstituted the LGBTQ Student Services Advisory Group, which hosted its first meeting today. So as you can see, we have not yet completed everything we promised to make right, but things take time, and the Division of Student Affairs will keep an eye on things and do what is necessary to ensure that our truth, i.e. the college's promise to these students, is fulfilled. Speaking of having members of our community thriving all the time, thriving community members are retained. Thriving community members help recruit others to our community. We cannot become the college of choice if the perception is that neither the people nor the institution are thriving, or that there is insufficient support and opportunity to thrive. What support structures have been implemented and or are under development to ensure that our community members can thrive? I'm going to list a few here, and I encourage you to visit the college's website, to visit OS3, and or speak with an advisor or a colleague to learn more about all that is available. So living in the age of a global pandemic has introduced a great deal of stress, uncertainty, and anxiety into many of our lives. Although I am pleased to say that as of last week, the Wellness Center is fully staffed on the medical side with 2 registered nurses and a full-time nurse practitioner who offer a wide variety of services for our students. On the counseling side, I'm highly sensitive to the fact that the number of counselors we have is insufficient for the current student in-person demand. Know that we are working hard to remedy this deficit as quickly as possible. The search for the new executive director for the Wellness Center is underway. If you or a friend is in need, please do not hesitate to reach out to the staff. Their contact information is listed on this slide. Appointments may be scheduled Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. There are crisis walk-in hours, Monday through Friday from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Emergencies are always accommodated as soon as possible. So in case of an emergency after hours, public safety should be notified, and you can use your Campus Shield app to do that. The Wellness Center staff has contacts with local resources to help provide services to our students. They will work to get the required help immediately for those in crisis. A significant percentage of our students are first-generation students. This means that neither of their parents graduated from college. Navigating college as a new student is difficult enough when you have a network of supporters who've had the experience. The situation is even more mysterious for first-gen students. Thus, an initiative that was begun 5 years ago has been reimagined as a collaboration between the IDEA unit, enrollment management, and student affairs. It's called Sum Primus, and it had its first official event yesterday, and it was highly successful. Sum Primus will be ramping up throughout the semester and over the summer to facilitate first-generation student success. If you are a first-generation student, faculty, or staff, please come join us. The camaraderie will enrich your life. OS3 has been rebranded as the Office of Student Success Services. Most students, regardless of their identity or intersectionality, will at some point find they need help managing all that they must do. Thus, OS3 has expanded its services to include 2 new offerings, Pass and the Sales class, as well as significantly expanding tutoring. If you find yourself in need of additional support, please visit OS3 on the 2nd floor of Glendenning Hall. Well, I'm very excited about the cluster hires we're doing. The college is in the process of recruiting the first cohort of Ross Fellows. These faculty, who will be in the departments of economics, psychology, anthropology, biology, and computer science, represent a special group with expertise in developing and implementing pedagogy focused on enhancing the success of traditionally minoritized groups. By bringing in a group of faculty who share this common expertise across their different disciplines, the concept of this cluster hire not only enhances student retention, but facilitates faculty retention as well. And by the way, the Ross Fellows are named after the late Joseph Ross, an artist and the first African-American faculty member to be hired by St. Mary's College of Maryland. Speaking of faculty, and by extension our staff, it is no secret that to both attract and retain the best employees possible, the wage and benefits package must be competitive within the market. Thus, we are pleased to announce that we undertook a thorough analysis of our faculty and staff salaries based on market trends. As a result, a significant number of the college's exempt employees have received a market-based adjustment to their salaries as of January 1st. You need to know that for our continuing employees, we are committed to making both merit and market-based adjustments as often as our finances allow. And we're committed to offering new hires competitive, market-sensitive salaries going forward. We're determined to build an environment that welcomes and supports all who believe in and support our campus ethos. As many of you are aware, the IDEA unit was established about 1.5 years ago, and I want to commend that group for all they've done and continue to do to make campus a welcoming environment. An example of their impact is the activity of the Equitable Policy Work Group. This work group was charged to review all of the college's policies through an equity lens and to determine in the first round of their work those policies that need to be updated or eliminated. They're making good progress and report to be about 60% through their charge, having culled through the policies in business operations and student affairs, and about to tackle academic affairs. Once this work is completed, the second phase of their work, and to ensure that our policies are adequate and relevant, will commence. I will provide an update on their progress in the fall. I will speak about another IDEA initiative in a few minutes. Part of the vision for the unit is that their work will impact in some way everything we do at the college and within our local community. They're fulfilling that vision every day, and they have done so without a dedicated leader. Thus, I want to publicly acknowledge and thank Jose Ballesteros, Kelsey Bush, Michael Dunn, and their more than able assistant, Sarah Conovo, for the great momentum they built and sustained while we search for the vice president to which they will report. I can't wait to see what will be accomplished once the new vice president for equity and strategic initiative arrives later this semester. The state of the environment in which we live, learn, and work plays an essential role in our community members being able to thrive. That environment includes having well-kept facilities and grounds, and having modern processes that run efficiently and effectively. The pandemic focused the need to enhance technology throughout the campus. In addition to all the Wi-Fi upgrades that have occurred, we will be bringing streaming services to student housing this summer. We're in the process of increasing broadband capabilities on campus by upgrading from a 5 GB campus connection to a 100 GB connection, which will increase internet speed and capacity. Also, we're replacing a more than 20-year-old legacy phone system with state-of-the-art voice over internet instruments. The pandemic has made us to really rethink the working environment. And one of the things that we've done is look at our telework policy and updated it. The initial focus has been primarily on exempt employees and primarily non-student facing positions. But I think that as things evolve, so will our policy. But it's important to really examine this policy, because if people have flexibility in when and how they work, it will decrease their stress and it will enhance retention. It should also enhance our ability to recruit stellar staff. The next one is just touch on two processes that have gotten a lot of attention and required quite a bit of work recently. And that is the class schedule matrix and academic administrative restructuring. You will receive more details regarding these efforts in the coming weeks. Know that both of these processes will afford the teaching faculty the opportunity to spend more quality time with students. Note too that the academic administrative restructuring is a means of organizing our programs and departments into 4 larger units and has no effect on the available majors or the number of college employees. The revision of the class scheduling matrix adds more available class times and provides designated, consistent times for meetings and community gatherings throughout the week, something we all believe is a good thing for our campus's sense of community and well-being. As Maryland's Honors College, our mission is to provide an excellent liberal arts education that is affordable and accessible to diverse populations. We are fulfilling our mission every day. Our truth prevails. But I want to focus right now on excellence. We have a very good liberal arts curriculum with stellar teaching faculty who have recognized and who are answering the call to ensure that we have not just an excellent liberal arts program, but a superior 21st century liberal arts curriculum that is relevant. Well, how relevant? Well, climate change is a big concern. Glaciers are melting, coastlines are disappearing. We have a great environmental studies program. What might enhance it? A marine science major. This major, even before it is officially launched, is already in the top 5 of intended majors of admitted students. Marine science is not only a relevant area of study, it also will represent the only such program for undergraduates in the state of Maryland. This fact should firmly position St. Mary's College as the college of choice for undergraduates interested in the field. We're in an era where social consciousness and social justice cannot be overlooked or underestimated. What are we doing? Well, we're about to launch a performing arts major, where the students will not only have access to state-of-the-art facilities when a new academic building comes online in the fall, but there will be the opportunity for these majors to focus on issues of social justice by the requirement that they think about the challenges of our society and how the performing arts can address those issues in a manner that no other discipline can. Kudos to our faculty for their work to launch such a relevant and conscientious program. We are preparing to launch a business administration major. Why? Well, one reason is that it is woefully apparent that we cannot be the college of choice for about 15% of all college-going students because we don't have the major. That's a significant number. There has also been a 70% increase in students expressing interest in studying business over the last 10 years. But another more relevant reason is that in this capitalist society in which we live, there is no better business education than one that is grounded in the liberal arts, a foundation that helps you understand the impact of your actions on not just the bottom line, but importantly, the impact on humanity. The program will be transformational, and we are grateful for the benevolence of one of our trustees who has provided resources to hire a senior faculty member to be named the William Seal Professor of Business to lead its implementation and growth. Now on this slide, I highlight enhanced or new programming that is making a difference in our campus community. On the right, or on one of the sides, I'm highlighting the major neuroscience. And we know we've had neuroscience as a minor for a long time, but as a major, it is helping us attract new students. Already, more than 60 applicants have indicated an intent to major in neuroscience. Opposite neuroscience on this slide is a track and field program. And this program builds off the success of the long-running cross-country program. And yes, pun is intended. And the track and field program attracts students to the college who may have never looked at us before. And so it will enhance our campus diversity. Already in its first meet, the track team set numerous school records. Thus, I'm pleased to see that they are off and running in style, given our magnificent new track and field facilities. At the bottom of this graphic, I'm showing the Center for Career and Professional Development. And this center is integral to our living up to the Honors College promise and the success of the LEAD initiative. As you know, the new executive director of the CCPD, who is an alumna, as well as the director of career development, have joined us. And with the updated curriculum in the Core P series, I have no doubt that the CCPD will help us to not only fulfill our promise of preparing St. Mary's College students for life after college, but will serve as a model for career centers across the nation and help us attract and recruit new students. Now, on the top of this graphic, I'm showing something that is labeled the culture of wellness, and it's very important. And the Student Affairs Division has spearheaded an initiative focused on developing a culture of wellness among our community members. This endeavor, in partnership with the SGA, Human Resources, and likely others, is essential as we all try to navigate the world that has been altered by COVID-19. It is imperative for us all to attend to self-care. COVID-19 has exacerbated feelings of anxiety and stress, and we're all juggling a host of obligations on campus and at home. Providing programming like mental health first aid training and mindfulness activities for our community allows members to be at their best, maximize their potential, increase their ability to deal with stressors, and improve the quality of life. So I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about affordability. You have all heard me say a few things about the cost to attend St. Mary's College. First, that liberal arts education is the most expensive form of undergraduate education in the US, primarily because of the small class sizes that enhance the student to faculty interactions. Secondly, that balancing this with our public mission to be affordable is a challenging endeavor. Third, we must find ways by which we can constrain costs with minimal negative impact on the high quality learning experience. I'm in my 8th year serving as the college's president, and I'm pleased to say that we have been able to address these challenges. Thus, for the 3rd consecutive year, the Board of Trustees has voted to hold tuition flat. How are we able to do this? Well, we work very hard to contain costs, and administratively, there has been lots of belt tightening and restructuring that has helped us decrease expenses. Everyone has had a part to play in this endeavor, and I simply want to say thank you for doing your part. Making the cost of attendance affordable, of course, helps with accessibility. There are other ways in which we provide access, and that is by providing opportunities for those who may not know the college to either visit or interact with members of our campus community. I'm really excited by a local outreach initiative that is a collaboration between Professor Tristan Kai, who's in art history department, the IDEA unit, St. Mary's Arts Council, and the Community Bank of the Chesapeake that partners underrepresented public high school students with St. Mary's College underrepresented peer mentors. The program provides the youth with the opportunity to reflect on their communities and voice their concerns through photography, as well as get a glimpse of what St. Mary's College is about. For St. Mary's students, they get a chance to connect with and give back to the local community. Pictured here is one of the novice photographers with a photograph of one of his peers. It is an amazing work of art that shows what is possible when individuals are just provided the resources they need to find and engage in their passions. Through the Lens is a win-win initiative for all of us. Now talk about the SGA. The SGA continues to do phenomenal work this year as engaged and committed campus leaders. Two things that they've done here is that they've purchased an ADA accessible van. And you'll be seeing these accessible van all wrapped up in St. Mary's colors. They've also provided funds to create a podcast studio. And that studio will help to really expose the world beyond our campus to what goes on at St. Mary's College and gives them a glimpse of all that is good here. Additionally, the college has partnered with the DC College Access Program to provide exposure to inner city DC youth attending DC public schools. And to enhance our appeal further, we will be hosting the National Hispanic Institute American Lorenzo de Zavala Youth Legislative Program for 150 US and international students in July. We're also hosting the Potomac Chesapeake Association for College Admission Counseling Summer Institute for new college counseling and admission professionals this summer. This will be excellent exposure to important influencers in the college admission process. We're living up to our mission and we are having a bit of fun in the midst of it all. The SGA provided funding for the rock climbing wall. And they are sponsoring a concert, I think it's during World Carnival Week, that features an artist that is very popular with our students and who I don't know at all. And likely that's a good thing. I hear there's lots of excitement about this artist. I promised Aaron I wouldn't tell anybody who it is, and I'm going to keep my word. We've been fortunate to be able to bring to the region outstanding intellectuals as journalist Yamiche Alcindor, playwright, actor, social commentator Anna DeVere Smith, and Maria Hinosa will be the inaugural speaker of the Gwen Ifill Lecture Series in the coming months. The commemorative, something that has really brought a lot of attention to the college, continues to draw national and international attention. And this year, the Sacred Journey, marking the 1-year anniversary, was a major success. And I want to thank all who were engaged in that endeavor. People are noticing. We are becoming the college of choice. The state is supporting us at historic levels financially. Our fundraising targets grow every year, and we are hitting and sometimes even surpassing those targets. So kudos to the institutional advancement team. Our efforts have again, for the second consecutive year, attracted a record number of applications from potential first-time first-year graduates, first-year students. Congratulations to the admissions staff in collaboration with the integrated marketing team for making this happen. And welcome to our new director of admission, who brings the energy and experience to ensure that we continue along this positive path. We're now in yield season, and I want to thank all of you in advance for helping us get across the finish line with your outreach to admitted students, many of whom will be on campus this weekend. As Vice President Houghton is known to say, admission staff can get the admitted students to the door. It is up to the faculty, our current students, and the St. Mary's College community to nudge them through it. There is just so much good and goodwill happening. We have developed and implemented a myriad of processes and programs to help us attract, recruit, and retain amazing students and stellar faculty and staff. The best way to attract and recruit new students is to be relevant for what they want today and for what will likely be needed in the future. The way to retain them is to work constantly to create an environment in which all have the potential to not just succeed, but to thrive. And I want to thank all of you who are helping us continue along our march towards our truth. To bring this state of the college to a close, I know that the path of which we are on is long and sometimes arduous. There are some who are tired and want things to slow down. I acknowledge that fatigue is real and one has to learn to pace oneself. But how can we, or why should we slow down right now? The momentum towards our vision of becoming the college of choice builds each and every day. It is time to celebrate all that we have accomplished as a community. Thus, it is appropriate to conclude my remarks with our new fight song, as it aptly describes not only where we are right now, but as Mary Curtillo, class of 23, and composer of this piece, so beautifully states, and I quote, "There are so many students that fight the good fight every single day in so many ways," she said. "I think everybody needs a fight song sometimes," end quote. She is so right. We're all fighting the good fight in so many ways. Let us continue to fly high, mighty Seahawks.